Hey guys, listen, I just want to let you know that the video that I am doing today, actually, the video that you're listening to was done about 2 days ago. So it is my honest opinion on a live chat, or a live video that I saw, a live stream that I saw the other day. These are my thoughts and opinions only. It does not apply to everyone. Please do not take anything I say personally, like I sent it to you in your inbox. I'm also open to respectful feedback. I do not respond to cursing and profanity. Surely you can say what you need to say without using insults. I do not respond to gaslighting. I do not respond to anything that's rude, because everyone's a keyboard warrior and say things because they think you can't find them. So I'm going to say it once. Please feel free to give your honest opinion and feedback or experience, but do not be disrespectful. This channel has a lot of filters. YouTube gives you that option. So if you're using profanity, if you're using words that are rude or anything like that, disparaging, I'm never going to see it. It's going to go somewhere in the YouTube black hole, okay? So please, you don't have to agree with me. I just ask you to be adults and speak to me and share your opinions and comment on other people's comment if you'd like, in a respectful manner. That is a community that I foster here. Anything else, I will never see it. All right, guys, so let's listen to this video, and yeah, bye. Hey guys, welcome to Big Sister. Hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful morning. I wanted to get on here and do a quick video about something that I saw yesterday. I actually did a video yesterday about it when I saw it, but after listening to it for a few times, I decided to just wait a day and re-record, so that when I'm giving my opinion, it's not fresh off of having listened to a podcast or listen to a live that, I guess, just made me want to talk about the topic. And I think sometimes we have to take a day. So here we go. So first of all, I'd like to thank those of you who are subscribers to my channel for being here. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe here. I am those of you who are not subscribed, so consider subscribing. And I'm just really thankful for you guys. My channel is fairly small and I am working on it. I am trying to put more content up, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have any suggestions, please let me know, and we'll see if it can happen. Just depends, okay? So anyway, guys, what I want to talk with you about was yesterday I saw this live that came up in my feed, and I was looking at it, and it's fairly popular, I think. And what drew me was the topic about, basically, I can't remember the exact topic, but the whole gist of it was, what are black men good for? And the whole overall message is that we don't need them. What do you need black men for? That was what it was entitled, what do you need black men for? And so she had a live, and she was giving a link where women could come up and say what they need black men for. What do they need them for, or why do they like black men? From what I can tell, the creator's mindset is more about dissuading or convincing women of color that they shouldn't only limit themselves to black men. But in addition to that, it was more of driving an idea of how useless, broke, busted, disgusted they are, good for nothing, dusties. I mean, the vitriol was on. And when other women came up, they gave their reasons why they felt like they don't need black men, and So most of them agreed. Most of them was like they're not good for anything. They're only good for maybe cutting my grass, and it was just going on and on. And so I was listening quietly, and then this one lady came on, and she had a different opinion. She felt it's important to have them there for to be fathers and to build a community and all of that. And I mean, the host, the creator, was just going off. It's at some point she was literally just interrupting the lady, and the woman was saying it's good to have them in the home, and the creator was saying, well, why do you need them in the home if what children do you know of who have just dropped dead because their dad was not in the home? So the lady was saying to her that children who grow up with both parents are less likely to get into to become or to get into criminal activities and dropout rates and all these different things. But that host was not having it. She was ripping that lady to shreds, and she was like, we're not going to be playing these games. You're up here saying this. She was just bullying the conversation. That was just she was very aggressive towards that woman because the woman had a different opinion, which was kind of weird. It's like, isn't that what this platform is for? Because she was even saying, when everyone was coming on and agreeing with her that all black men are dusties and they're lazy and they're no good and they abandon their children. It was all, she was letting them talk. But she also mentioned that she wanted someone who had a different opinion. So finally someone comes up having a different opinion. The lady, in my opinion, spoke very calm. She was not rude. She was not aggressive. She just made her point. The creator, okay, was aggressive. She was cutting her off. She was not letting her finish her points. And one of the things that she kept saying is, she was saying, what do you need them for? And she made it very clear that when she said need, she meant the same way we need food. Meaning, if you don't have this, then you're going to drop dead. You cannot live without this thing. Kind of like how we need water, food, shelter, clothing. She placed it and she reiterated, she kept repeating it. She stressed that's what she meant. That do you need, if this black man is not in your house, if you don't have a black man to raise your children, if he is not in the house, will your children die? Will they just drop dead because their dad is not in the home? Well, no, but I felt, in my opinion, that she sort of deliberately posed the question that way because that's not a reasonable way to ask it, is it? It should be more of, what do you desire? Why do you think it's important to have a black man in your family or in the household? Something like that is more realistic than almost cornering your guests to answer the question a specific way. So to say this, if I need to have a black man in my home or in the house, and then she's saying, well, so you're gonna just die if you don't have him. Your whole life is gonna stop. Your children will drop dead if their father's not in the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird. So this is my point of all of that, guys. My opinion is, if we're talking about if we're going to discuss this in the context that she's placing it in, to say, why do you need a black man? And need as in, if I don't have this, if I don't have a black man, if I'm not married to a black man, if I'm not having a family, if he's not in the home, then I am going to just die. If the same way as if I don't ever drink water or if I don't ever get to eat. I feel like my answer would be like, there's no one you need to that degree. There's no person that you will need so badly that if I don't have them, I will die or my life will fall apart. I don't think it's healthy for any human to desire or need anyone, whether they're a black person or a white person or any other race. So my answer would have been more of, no human should have to need someone to literally survive. I know that there may be cases and scenarios and extenuating circumstances where this can happen. For in cases where in some cases, if you are dying of a heart attack, you need help. Okay, it's a matter of life and death. You're going to need help. If you have some sort of terminal illness or some sort of illness that can kill you, yeah, you need a doctor or a surgeon to help you. You have a toothache, you need the dentist when all your home remedies has failed. But outside of that, we should not need any person. It's not about needing a black man. It's not about needing a Spanish person or otherwise. The way she posed it, my answer would have been, whether they're black or white, there's no need that I have to have this person or I will just perish. You see what I mean? But it was just kind of weird, guys. And I was surprised to hear how many women just hate black men, just hate them. I mean, the way the creator was behaving on her platform, because even people in the chat was telling her, let the lady finish, let her say her point. And she was going off on the people in the chat that's saying that. She was like, I'm not going to have these games played on my channel. And she's asking her questions in a way that as soon as she's trying to answer the lady that didn't agree with her, she was cutting her off. It was just a complete turn off. And at that moment, guys, I was like, she hates black men. She hates black men. And this is what I think about all of that, because there is a demographic of people who hate black men. And the individuals, she was also complaining about black men who speaks down and say all black women are this way, but then she's doing the same thing. She's saying all black men are a certain way. I know that there are platforms where they are talking about all black women are this way and they're loud and I don't like them and we need to go get our passports and whatever. But this is what I say about all of that. Women, anyone that's saying all black men are a certain way and saying they're dusties and they're this, my question is, why were you dating a dusty? What kind of person are you or were you to be dating what you call the dusty, the no good, unemployed, violent, manipulative, don't take care of your children type of man, run off, do all these different things? You dated that dusty. So you have to look at yourself. I think it's very important that people look within themselves. A lot of times, women, you can be choosing getting the dusties over and over again. If every man you've dated is a certain way, then you have to ask yourself, why do you keep choosing them? You see, sometimes people may grow up in broken homes, or they may grow up in a community where the men were abusive and all of that. And even though they hated being in that environment, the abuse does plant seeds within them mentally. It changes them. And unknown to them, they continue to choose the same type of men that their father was, if he was abusive, their uncles, the guy across the street, they'll hear the wife screaming, being beaten, or upstairs, or seeing that abuse, they perpetrate that. The same way boys or young men who grow up in poverty-stricken areas, and it doesn't even have to be poverty. People can be middle class and doing well and still be abusive. A lot of times that hatred that they may have for their dad, their absent dad or whatever, if they don't deal with that and get the healing that they need, a lot of times those men will become like their dad and do the exact same thing. They will be absent fathers like their dad as well. But my whole point is, a lot of times the women are not taking into consideration that it is just the type of men they have been choosing over and over again, why they continue to experience certain things. So instead of thinking that, they're going to say all black men are this way, which is a really unreasonable thing to say, that all black men are this way. Well, you're saying all, most likely they say that because this is the type of man that their aunts dated. This is the type of man their father was. This is the type of man their friends dated. This is the type of man that they kept encountering. But a lot of times, if you are continuing to date on the lowest tier, you're going to get the same type of individual, whether you're a man or a woman. Sometimes people, or even men, that say all women are this way or all women is that way, a lot of times what they're not realizing is that they have a type. And they keep going after this specific type of person who has low morals, low ethics, who's not responsible, who has low character, who's not accountable, who's not responsible, because there's something in them that continues to draw to that. A lot of times because they experience that at the hands of their guardians or the environment that they lived in, and they will become attracted to the same type of person. If people really think about it, a lot of these women who are complaining and saying that, if they think about it, they have met a nice guy. I know I have seen a lot of my friends and heard a lot of my friends that have said he's a nice person, but okay, and the but could be anything. He's too short, he doesn't dress well, he's not good looking enough, he's not cute enough, he's not tall enough, he doesn't have a car, he doesn't have a nice car, let's put it like that. There'll be all these things why they didn't choose that guy. And if people are really honest with themselves, male or female, think back in your life, there's someone who you met that was really nice, who was really kind, and you discarded them. You didn't like them. You may have even dated them, but you broke up with them and you chose somebody else who was more spicy, fiery, cuter, more popular, and you got hurt. People don't think about the fact that they may have a type and that they go after all the time, and they ignore, bypass, don't even notice the person that is nice, that are nice. And I have seen shows, videos where there are black men who they end up dating white women or someone who's not in their race, and some of them have said, I have been none of the girls liked me. They said I was too dark, or they said I was too this, I was too that, or they were too different because they like to listen to different music and they like to do different things, and they thought they were not black enough. Now, I've experienced this before because I listen to a variety of different music. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I was growing up listening to 98.7 Kiss FM. We listened to different things. I was listening to reggae. I was listening to everything. In my household, there was always music, including classics. I love classics. I love different kind of music. And I do remember once when I was in this group, it was like this master fitness training I was in, and we had to, do our little stretches and things of that nature. I had a project, and so I chose some opera music for our stretches. And you would have thought that I had grown 2 heads, 4 legs, 4 arms, and had a giraffe protruding out my belly, the way the black students were looking at me. Now, it was a mixed group of people, but the black people specifically, these are the ones I was sitting here having lunch with. They were looking at me like, what the, you know what I mean? It was crazy. I have been growing up, been teased because I spoke proper English. They're like, why do you talk white? I don't talk white. I speak proper English. My father did not allow me to say you be, they be, you be. I may say something like that when I'm, making a point or saying certain things, but that's not how I was raised. So I understand that. Now, that's never made me feel like I want to go and date a white person. My people don't accept me, because it's not been that way. I've always been, I feel pretty much accepted. They may make comments, but I've never felt ostracized where, oh, I hate them all. I just don't. But overall, guys, I enjoy all people. I like cultures. I like different individuals. I'm interested in different type of foods, all of that. And I've lived in different countries. So I have been friends with South Koreans. I've gone out to eat with them. I have gone to other places. I've been to Paris. I've just traveled, and I like to get to know people and individuals. Okay? That's just me. So I see people as people. But a lot of times, guys, the individuals that say all black men are this way, I would say no. The type of men you dated were this way. To those who say all black women are a certain way, no, that's not true. The type of women you chose constantly is the reason why you experience the same things over and over again. I also wondered, like, the way they were talking so badly, black men, they're no good, black men, they're no good. Well, what about your sons? What about the little young black boys that's growing up right now? Is there no hope for them? Are you saying they are no good? If they hear that, you're going to perpetrate the same thing, because what they're if they hear the women around them talking about black men are no good, they're this, they're that, what hope is there for them? You understand what I'm saying? So I just thought that was really strange. And I know that there may be some people that will try to drag me and say whatever. I would say, if you're going to share your opinion, share it respectfully, because I am not going to respond to nonsense. Just give your honest opinion. The thing that people don't understand is that even women of different races, they have issues with their men. I say it's not a black man thing, it's a character thing. It's who you choose. Yes, through the media, you may see a lot of things perpetrated. You see black people doing a lot of things. They're doing all these crazy things and all of that. But the media, it's pretty much doctored, okay? Whatever information we're going to get in how many sound bites and in however frequency, there's always an agenda with the news. So you're going to see a lot of black people doing negative things, but they're not showing you a far greater percentage who are doing positive things. Okay, you may hear everything now and then, but most of the times you don't see that. The same thing with the news. You'll be frightened looking at, oh, this is horrible. Yes, this is one aspect of it, to bring fear so that we react a certain way or maybe vote a certain way. But the bigger picture of how life is and what's really going on in your area, it's so different. But if they're only showing you the negative, then you're going to get a certain impression, which is going to drive a different agenda. So I will just say that every race have their problems. I know Korean women who complain about their men. There are Japanese women who complain about their men. White women, Spanish women who complain about their men. They have issues with them also. Okay? Yeah, maybe they have some of the guys. I know Mexican, Spanish people, they are known for working hard. Japanese, they work hard all the time. But guys, there's always another flip side to it. Yes, that man may go and do this or that, get work done, but in other ways he is lacking. And these women do complain about that. The only difference is you may just see a documentary with a few women speaking about a few things, or a person on their channel talking about what they wish was better. But as far as really ragging on their men and the people, their women, I don't see that anywhere else but amongst black people. Now, I could be wrong, but I literally have not seen a Mexican, too many, any other races just sit there and disrespect their own the way I see black people do. I could be wrong. I'm going based on what I've seen. I just don't see that. And I think you should always be suspicious and careful with anybody who hates their people. It's different. It's not hate if you bring up certain points and say, look, you guys can do better. I have done a video before discussing, talking about black business owners. Okay. I don't think I did it here. I did it somewhere else. But it was just my experiences over time, how I'm excited and then disappointed, with the exception of maybe one or two places that I still keep on my roster and go to. But I spoke about the unprofessionalism and the lack of customer service. That is something that I spoke about. But also, hey guys, this needs to improve, because you can't say people are going over to white communities. I'm not obligated to just stay and keep going to a black owned business that's not giving me what I want, when I can go over to any other business and get what I need. I don't care what color you are. If you're giving me good customer service, I'm going to go for it. So I'm not going to say, oh, they're white or they're Asian. I'm obligated to do this. No, people are people are people are people. That's how I think. So no, black men, not all black men are dusties. Not all black men are this way and that way. You cannot just trust what's being perpetrated in the media about anybody, whether it is about bullying or this or that. We're never getting the whole story. And when you live in a community, you know it's different. I can tell you for a fact that not all black women are allowed and don't know how to act and have bad credit and waiting on government cheese. This is just ludicrous, all right? I can tell you, my family, there's no profanity in my house. When I grew up with my brothers and my parents, excuse me, I never heard profanity. We never cursed in our household. My brothers have never used foul language towards me. My brothers have never been violent towards me. They have never hit me. Now, have we scuffled together, playing around? We've done that. We're playing wrestling in the back, or something happens, and then you may chase them and hit them, like, I was the only girl. So, you're playing and someone's losing Monopoly, you slap the pieces off the board, But my brothers have never been physically violent, beating me, cursing me, anything like that. My family, my relatives, no one curses and beats. The men are there. They're taking care of their families. They are doing all these things. My cousin has been married for so long. This one cousin, she's been married for a long time. Her husband loves her. They have children. They're together. I'm not saying no marriage is without its issues, but I just don't see that. I'm not saying it does not happen. And I know other families that are like that. I know other black families that are together. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but from what I see, they're consistent and good people. And then I've also seen the opposite. I've seen other families, other men who are exactly what you would call a dusty. All right. So, but that is not a people on a whole. I think a lot of times the experiences that people have where it's really based on your social economic status. If you are more in a poorer community where people are not working, there's a lot more alcohol, there's a lot more dysfunction, then you're going to run into certain types of men and certain type of women more often than not, versus when you're in the middle excuse me, middle class, upper middle class, and then you're wealthy. It's going to be different because, number one, money is not so much of an issue. You're going to be able to live in different areas. You have a little more choice. You have more freedom. You'll be able to take vacations with your family, things of that nature. You are going to be you're going to be in a mix of black and white, or other nationalities. It opens other doors, so you have different experiences. So there's less dysfunction and less drama. Now, as we can see, even if you're super rich, you can still make mistakes because they're also doing crazy things as well. It does happen, but a lot of times it's not based on poverty, okay? It boils down to my whole point here, character. A person could be middle class, upper middle class, they can be in the top 5%, but if their character is not right, none of that is going to matter. All the houses and the cars and all that will not matter. They're still going to mess up. They're still going to do wrong things. I would say the one thing that I have seen within maybe, with men is the area of fidelity. They can be hard workers. They can be providers. They can take care of their families and all of that. They can be CEOs and board members and doing well and running a business. But a lot of times they struggle in areas which is going to be fidelity, not falling into temptation, and also how maintaining themselves when they're given a lot of power. So fidelity, power, respect, these three things, I see sometimes men will kind of go in the wrong direction, not being able to say no, especially once they begin to make money and all of that. Power, that is really going to say a lot about a person's character when they have power and what they will do for respect. Are they going to give respect, or do they just demand it? And what will they do for that? What would you do with that? And so that's the main thing, guys. People are not understanding, and these women that are dogging out their men, they have to look at the fact that it has nothing to do with color. It has to do with the character of these men, what they received or did not get growing up. Why are they this way? Why are they volatile? Well, that's not our business to find out. The biggest thing to find out is, why did you keep choosing these men? that you're so damaged that you hate them, and you think, and the thing that she's driving home to women is, oh, go date other men. Other men can put you through the same type of hell or worse. Okay, so it has, or worse, so it has nothing to do with color but the character. And if women are trying to, if black women, some black women are trying to escape black men, and they're running to non-black people, and they're going to these men and talking bad about their men, you literally cut down your value by 75 to 80%. Because now you're like this, you make yourself seem as if you're escaping something and you need them to save you. And you'll have, really, I believe these women will have this sort of fantasy as far as what type of man they will be and what they should do. And because they're damaged, they're going to go right into this relationship, and this calm man, the sweet man, whatever he is, they're going to destroy that. They're going to mess that up, because even when they are being treated well, they become the perpetrators now. I've known that there are women who they were in bad relationships with in the past, and when they meet this nice guy, the guy is so sweet and calm and mild mannered, but they're still volatile, they're still damaged, and they behave in a way that they end up overpowering him. And because he is a mild mannered person, they're just taken advantage of. That could happen whether it's black or white. Well, I mean, sorry, whether it's a male or a female. You're escaping the black community and you go to this other group of people who are nice and calm, but you're still volatile because you bring that drama with you. You bring all that dysfunction with you. So at the end of the day, I would say, if you are mistreated by anyone in any way, form, or fashion, the most important thing that you can get is your healing. You have to get to the bottom of it, and it is hard work. It's a lot of hard work. It takes a long time, but it is worth it, so that you can clear all the obstruction, you can clear out all the darkness and all the hurt and all the pain, and you can see things from a different way. Because right now, I would say, if you can imagine that a lot of people who think this women have so much hate towards black men, it's like their views obscured, and a lot of times pain and disappointment and constant disappointment, their hopes and dreams and their beliefs have been dashed, their love was taken advantage of or taken for granted. And if that happens too many times, and you don't get to heal, you don't get to find out what's going on and why this is happening, you're going to go into survival mode. You're going to harden yourself, because this is what I have to do around these sorts of people. And it can end up in hatred and bitterness. And so that's why people are saying now, these women are sitting around, they were talking so badly about black men, it was really uncomfortable. But I stayed and I listened, and I was like, man. And I mean, that one lady that was speaking reasonably and was not, they were dragging her. I mean, that woman, the host was dragging her, was just being so rude, so disrespectful, so aggressive. And then I just looked at her like, wow, she is being so belligerent towards this woman, a black woman, for having a different opinion. So she is abusing, okay, verbally abusive, verbally aggressive, verbally intimidating, trying to at least, verbally trying to manhandle and to get her to go along with her narrative. And if she was not, she accused her of trying to play games. Who's acting like a Dusty? You understand? So it was weird. It was very strange. But I want to talk about this. It is not a color thing. It's a character thing. Finances, education, morals, ethics. That's the main thing. I don't hate black men. Okay. Do I see the Dusties that she's talking about? Yes, I have seen them. Do I see men that are rude and aggressive, black men who are rude, aggressive, and disrespectful? Yes, I have seen it. I've seen them go to places where people are being nice and they're mean. Not just men, the women too. I have seen it. But I do not believe that every single black person is that way, because I know they're not. These specific people don't have any home training. They're rude, they're disrespectful, they're social miscreants, and they choose to behave that way. But because there's already this belief that people of darker skin, that they are a certain way, they're going to say, they chalk it up to the entire black race. But that is ignorance, that is stupidity, and I can't help anybody who wants to be deliberately obtuse. You understand? So no, there are wonderful black men out there. They're nice, they're sweet, they're kind, they're patient. The same way, I would say, if you want love, then don't look at color. It means, in my opinion, I'm not going to tell anyone what this woman is saying. Just drop black men and find love with anyone outside of that. I would say don't just limit yourself just to one race, whether you're black or any other race. You can find love in someone who is of a different culture. If you love the person, you guys connect, you guys are compatible, you guys share the same values and beliefs and morals, then go for it. Don't allow your skin tones and colors and different cultural backgrounds to get into the way of that. I know there may be some exceptions. Some things it's just almost impossible depending on the culture. But for the most part, I would say, speaking as far as Western society, I will say you can choose love in any shade, but you don't need to attack and destroy your own people in the process. All right, guys, bye.